What's up, everybody, and welcome back to KRSTV. This is your boy Kenny, and this is another Black Diamond video. And this video is about the iconic Martin Show. This is the 30-year reunion review, and I must say I enjoyed it from beginning to end. And I will share a piece with this. This show is so a part of who I am as a man, and who and so much a part of my culture. When I was a kid, me, my brother, and my cousin Rory were literally, because my Uncle Roy, her father, he used to tape the episodes. And my mom used to tape the episodes too. Like, they would literally tape the episodes on VHS every week that it came on. So we were binge watching before binge watching was a thing. Because on the weekends, we had our blankets on the floor, had our chips or whatever, and was literally watching Martin's episodes back to back to back and getting our life. I mean, Martin was pretty much like what Boys in the Hood was for the movies. Martin was that for television. It was a groundbreaking new way of looking at black life in the black culture, in the black experience. And this show is still iconic to this day. After 30 years, it's still relevant. Even kids from this new generation loves Martin, because Martin is a timeless piece. You know, for those 5 years, they literally have changed the face of black entertainment and black television. And it was really, I think they did a phenomenal job with this reunion. You know, they brought back, Cole, who's played by Carl Anthony Payne, Pam, played by Tashina Arnold, Gina, played by Tisha Campbell, and, of course, the iconic Martin Lawrence. And they literally sat there. Avion Crockett was the host. He did a phenomenal job, and Avion looked good in that suit, too. So they literally sat down and were just reminiscing about some of the great moments of the show, the creation of the show, how the show came to be, and how this show really resonated with audiences, and how they would ad-lib and play off of each other. They were a real family, and they really did have a close, connection to each other. Sadly, things kind of went left, after Martin started having issues, and also the closeness between him and Tisha Campbell fell apart. That also changed a lot, but I'm glad that they've healed from that and that they're all in a good place, because we really see that there was true love amongst that cast, and we love them because they're such an integral part of our lives. I mean, there's not a day that goes by that me and my best friend, shout out to my boy Kenneth Tukes from the K2 Spot. Check out his YouTube channel. But there's not a moment that doesn't go by that we don't be quoting scenes from Martin. Oh, Martin has really matured. Yes, he's got a preacher for a friend, and he is so nice to that Pam. Martin told me on the way over she was raised by wolves. Just moments from Martin, you just remember, and you just be quoting them just out of nowhere. I said, "What's up?" Man, sit your ass down. Oh, man. Oh, my God. I got so many of them. I got so many Martin-isms that is hilarious. And also, I really enjoyed the piece that they did in dedication to Tommy Ford, who passed away in 2016. Tommy was like that glue. He, was that spiritual being who was there to keep the peace. So when things got crazy, Tommy was the one that brought everybody together. And it was actually after Tommy's passing that all of the past grievances and all of the past hurts, they were able to heal, because they all loved Tommy. And when Tommy passed and they went to his funeral, that's when the healing began. And I just knew that Tommy was just smiling down. We actually saw his wife and his 2 kids. They brought back, the original Martin set, as well as the original Nipsey set. And in the Nipsey set is where they had the little tribute to Martin, and Leandra Johnson came in and sang the house down. I mean, she sang down. And then you also had, you know, some of the iconic characters come back, like Tommy Davidson, you know, who, what was the name of his damn character? But y'all know who I'm talking about, though. You know, when he had the Hollywood show and Martin came out there singing with Jodeci because old boy wouldn't let him on his show. I think his name was Ronell. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. But Tommy Davidson came back. Bruh Man came back, you know, upstairs, 5th floor. Bruh Man came back. I was so happy. He literally struggled coming in from that window, though. But then he literally was true to the character, you know, where he was always sneaking in Martin's apartment and making him a sandwich. And he would just be at any damn time. Like, it was just so funny that one time Martin was having, like, a dream or whatever. And Martin just comes in, and Bruh Man's literally sitting at his counter making a sandwich. He's like, "What's up, Bruh Man?" Like he was just a fixture. Like, it got to the point you were just used to seeing Bruh Man just show up, you know, taking your shit or eating your food, and he was just a part of. I mean, we all got somebody in the hood that's like Bruh Man. Maybe not to that extreme, but that person that always comes over. You know, they always want something from you, and it's just like they're just a part of your experience. And Bruh Man definitely was that. You know, he was always just there, and sometimes and sometimes just out of nowhere he would just pop up. Like that time when him and Gina was looking at that BET commercial. Who in the hell left the gate open? I mean, and it was good to see him, you know, and it was great to see that he still brought that essence, you know, to the show. And, you know, he definitely was like somebody on the show that's very memorable. Let's see, who else did they oh yes, they brought back the guy who played Nipsey, who was actually a close friend of Martin, and it was Martin who suggested that he play that role because they were expanding the show and they was going to create a new a hangout spot called Nipsey's where they would go to hang out after work or, you know, just to chill out. And he said, well, offer him the role, you know, and he's like, what the fuck? Because he was just on the set to see Martin because him and Martin were friends. Didn't think that Martin was going to give him a job. But I have to say, he did a great job playing Nipsey. I mean, he was definitely, he was definitely, you know, a personality within the show. Like, you always saw him being the big guy, all clean cut, you know, polishing up his glasses and serving the patrons and sometimes giving some slick comments and everything. You know, it was everything. Like, you know, the Martin show was just iconic all the way around. And I'm glad they did not go into the drama. I'm glad that they made it about the show and about how much the show meant to us, the audience, and how much it meant for the culture and for other generations, you know, future generations. I mean, it was a show that was relatable to everyone, and it wasn't a stereotypical. It was, you know, this was a show of young black people who were thriving, you know, in their careers. I mean, Martin, you know, was a radio host who ends up becoming a TV host. Gina is an executive. You know, Pam, who pretty much is an executive assistant, but then ends up becoming the head of A&R for a record label. You know, you got Cole, who pretty much, you know, worked on, you know, cleaning the planes and all of that. But then we see that later on he finds love with someone who's just as ditzy and dumb as he is. And then you had Tommy, you know, pretty much Tommy ain't never have a job. But one thing you can say, Tommy was always clean, Tommy always had money, and Tommy was there for his friends. I mean, hey, nobody knew what Tommy's job was. And that was just a thing, like, and even like Tashina Arnold, because the thing is, there was supposed to have been a spinoff of Pam's character as her being an A&R executive, and the name of the show was called Going for Mine, but it never got picked up. And I remember when she was on BET, I think it was BET Tonight, and she was talking about it, but it never got picked up. But she even said in that interview that, you know, Tommy never had a job. You know, Tommy never had a job. Like, when we say, Tommy, you ain't got no job, he didn't have a job. But then everybody's wondering, well, how the hell did he get all this stuff? I mean, hey, you got a lot of people in the hood that ain't got the typical 9 to 5, but they always paid. And they always clean. And they always fresh. Marinate on that one. But the thing about it, I loved all of them. You know, we loved all of the characters. They all play well off of each other. And also, there was a piece that was shared, too, that we know that Tashina and Tisha were friends ever since they were 12 years old. But then come to find out, they knew Carl, you know, who plays Cole. They knew Carl when they were young as well, because they said they would see him on auditions when they would audition in New York. They would see him all the time, you know, and, you know, he was a child star, you know, starting on The Cosby Show and then, you know, becoming even an icon, you know, playing the role of Cole on Martin. I mean, he was already doing big things before Martin, you know, so, and, you know, Tashina Arnold was on Ryan's Hope. You know, Tisha Campbell did, like, along with Tashina Arnold, did Little Shop of Horrors, and then Tisha Campbell did, you know, was very memorable for her role in School Days. So I'm like, they all did all of these, you know, iconic pieces of work before they came to Martin. And then Martin was on What's Happening Now, I mean. And he did Star Search, and, you know, so all of them had been working in the industry. And then him and Tisha Campbell, they were in House Party 1 and 2 together, and they did Boomerang together. And it was actually Reggie Hudlin who said that the fact that the two of you were good with comedy, y'all should do something together. And lo and behold, we end up getting the Martin Show. And now, 30 years later, the show is still as relevant as it was then. So I can honestly say, oh yes, and Snoop Dogg was another person that came through, and he even said that he was a fan of all of them because this was his first time doing the TV show, doing acting. His first acting job was on Martin, and I was like, wow, that's something. So he says that the show Martin has a special place in his heart, and of course, you know, Snoop Dogg, you know, performed, you know, Gin and Juice, and he's now the new owner of Death Row, and he was rocking his blue, you know, Death Row blue, and, you know, it was just great because I remember the episode that Snoop Dogg was on, and also that was the same episode where Martin and Gina was fighting, you know, pretty much about, because they was pretty much doing an engagement party at Gina's crib, but the two of them at Martin's crib fighting like cats and dogs. And that's the episode that Snoop Dogg was on, and also Randy Cunningham, you know, who used to date Whitney Houston back in the day. Yeah, that Randall Cunningham. He was on the episode too. And it was just like, wow, you know, just a time capsule. And then to see Snoop come back to pay homage to the show was everything. And, you know, it was just like awesome. And then just thinking about all of the different characters Martin played. Like, Martin is a true comedic genius. I mean, you think about, you know, Roscoe, you know, Mama Payne and Shanae, Otis, you know, the Kung Fu, I think, what was his name? Kung Fu Joe, I think. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. But, like, all of these different characters that Martin played, you know, even when he played the white guy, this whole damn party's out of control. Just, like, man, talk about sheer fucking talent. I mean, shoot, I think it was Martin that inspired Eddie Murphy to do The Nutty Professor, if you really want to know. Because Martin was groundbreaking with all them damn characters, and each character had its own distinct personality. It takes a lot of work and a lot of genius and a lot of heart to pull that off. I mean, it just goes to show you how much of an iconic artist Martin is. And it was just so great to see how all of this came together. And the fact that they were able to just embrace each other and embrace the fact that the fans is who really made the show work, and how they really had a system to get the laugh, to get the foot stomps. Because if you got the foot stomps, you really got the crowd growing. So that was something that motivated them to keep on pushing the joke, to keep on making the crowd laugh, which is why to this day we're still laughing at Martin. I mean, I can still watch Martin just like I did when I was that little kid on the floor with my blanket and my potato chips. I will still get my life from the show just like I did then. I mean, this just goes to show you how much of an iconic piece of work Martin is, and that it's a staple in our culture. I mean, this is why I rock my Boys in the Hood, because just like how Boys in the Hood did that for the motion picture, Martin did that for TV. You know, Martin, along with the other shows like Living Single, New York Undercover, but Martin was like that first comedic show that literally changed the game, where we saw us being portrayed in a more superb way, where it wasn't stereotypical, it wasn't, black folks struggling in the hood, the typical stereotype that they like to play. This was black people living in Detroit, but were thriving, were young, were innovative, who were loyal to their friends, who constantly played around with each other. Like, I remember like an episode that me and my cousin Roy used to love a lot was the episode where Martin and Gina were going back and forth with Pam and Tommy, because by this time Pam and Tommy are a couple, and they literally are just going back and forth, throwing jokes at each other. Well, at least I'm telling them to get on the rides at Disneyland. Like, just wow, like, it's just amazing how much this show has resonated with so many people. Even the younger generation who's coming up now are literally watching Martin and getting their life. That says a lot to the power of good TV, good creation, and just great quality work. So that's what I have, y'all. Get down in those comments and let me know if you actually saw the reunion, and let me know your thoughts about it. I'd definitely like to hear from you. I truly enjoyed this, and I will definitely be watching it over and over again, because the reunion gave me so much life, and I'm so glad that all of them came together and they're still celebrating each other, and how all of them are still doing iconic work even now in their own careers. So shout out to the whole cast of Martin. Shout out to the cast and crew, the creators of it, the ones who are here, the ones who are no longer with us, because this show is dear to our hearts, and it will be around forever. So that's what I got, y'all. So until next time, everybody, take care.